Welcome to the MBU Football Coaches Show. My name is Guy Danhoff. I'm here with our head coach, Coach B. Coach, we know that you took it on the road. You went to Kansas. You were taking on number 8 Benedictine. You knew that that was probably going to be the hardest matchup you're going to have all season. Obviously, the Spartans fell short, 48-14. In the first half, it was just pretty much all Benedictine. However, as again we talk about every week, whatever you guys do in the third quarter, your adjustments are working because you then scored your 14 points in the third quarter. Talk to us a little bit about that game because I know it's disappointing. However, I know that you've probably learned some great things that's going to help, position the team moving forward.
Yeah, it was definitely disappointing. I know we went in there obviously with the mindset to go out and win that football game, and that was how we prepared and how we went into it. And hats off to Benedictine. They're a very good team. They have good players across the board, and we just made too many mistakes in that game that were uncharacteristic of what we've shown this year to go out and beat that team, especially on the road. It's always a tough chore, but I was proud of how we rebounded, how guys continued to fight. I was really proud of how we managed them physically. It was one of those games where we knew it was going to be a physical game, and I thought we matched their physicality, if not, at times exceeded it. So I was really pleased with how they played on that end. It's just some of the little things, penalties, turnovers, special teams. Those were all things that were uncharacteristic of us throughout this season so far that we've got to get cleaned up and worked on. And especially a special teams game, it's hard to beat a team on the road, no matter who they are, when you have a blocked punt and a blocked field goal, and all things that we've got to look at and that we've been working on throughout this week.
Right, and you also had a blocked extra point too.
Yeah, and some of that is on our protection. One of the things they did a great job of overloading, 2 guys, and that makes it extremely difficult on that guy, especially when they're big and physical guys, to try and take on 2. So just some of our operation time we've got to get worked on. We made a couple adjustments there, and then just how we go about and protect it. But teams see that on film, so it's obviously something we've got to take care of, and we've been working on pretty heavily this week.
Yeah, let's talk about Lionel Banks. He scored yet another touchdown. Yeah. Actually, you've had a pretty decent day overall. But talk to us about Lionel, because I guess he's now in the top, or among the top leaders in touchdowns scored in the conference.
Yeah, Lionel just continues to be productive across the board. He's been that guy coming into this season. I know he and I sat down and talked a lot in the offseason about what we expected of him and what our role was for him. We've talked about this previously, but just kind of going back, he sat behind Darius Morrison and Carl Garman and some of those guys, and so it was tough to get his touches, but we knew coming in that he was going to really be the bell cow. Obviously, Jared Stewart's doing a good job. Jordan Kern and Phil Jordan are doing a good job when they get in there, but Lionel's been a really, really good running back in regards to being consistent in how he prepares, consistent in how he carries the rock, and that's something that we see every day in practice. So it's not all that surprising, but we knew when we recruited him, we had a great player, and he's developing into that guy.
So the Spartans now are 4-2, and what did you tell your team after the game?
Well, really just next game. We've got to put this one behind us. We knew we didn't play our best game. We were all frustrated that we didn't go out and play our best. I wouldn't say that we laid an egg. I wouldn't say that it was anybody ever gave up on that thing. So those are the positives that we've got to take out, and we've got to look ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, we know we can play with these type of teams. We've just got to do it more consistently. So overall, just really kind of trying to love them up as much as possible, because everybody was frustrated and disappointed. But we've got to refocus and get into this game or to this week. And, I think the guys have really done a good job at that.
All right, Coach, let's set the stage for the Spartan fans, Spartan Nation. You're playing homecoming this Saturday, but it's this Saturday night at 7 o'clock. First time in program history for a homecoming game to be played at night. I just had your athletic director in my class this past week, and he shared maybe a few really cool things that are going to happen. Yeah. And what does it mean to you now, knowing that the football game is going to be, a top billing this weekend for homecoming, with all the alumni coming back for a Saturday night homecoming game?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, I think it's something that we've really been looking forward to, and you know, I know Mr. Four and I have sat down, and he kind of talked about what he wanted as a vision for homecoming. We actually talked this week because his son went to Benedictine several years ago, his oldest son, and still holds some records there. And we were the homecoming game for Benedictine.
Right.
And so, you know, just pulling up to Atchison, Kansas for the first time and being there in that environment, and you could tell what an event it was.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, there were people everywhere. They had a great turnout, RVs, tailgaters, all that stuff. And so we just kind of talked about that since he's been around that and where we want to get. And, you know, I think having a night game just makes things really cool. It's our only night game of the year at home. So, you know, it's something that we're not to where some of the other schools are, being a new program, but, you know, having success is a big piece of that.
Yep.
So, you know, I think we've done a good job of kind of putting ourselves into position where this is going to be a great game, be a great environment, and I just can't wait to see all the alumni and people that come back and all the festivities, because homecoming is fun here regardless.
Absolutely.
And I think that this week, you know, being a night game and all the other extra things that are going along with it, it's going to be really great.
Yeah, I got a chance to see some of the schedule of events, and it's going to be like nothing you've ever seen, Spartan fans. So if you can be here, please be here at Spartan Field. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to feel like this is going to be not just homecoming, but this is going to be a real treat for you to see something very spectacular. So with that, Coach, now we got to get to the hard part.
Yeah.
So, you know, traditionally speaking, they like to say that on a homecoming game, you want to schedule someone that, I don't know, you're maybe equal to or maybe less than. I don't know. Does that sound fair?
Well, you'd ideally like to get it somebody that you can win, and you know you can win. Our tradition has been totally the opposite. You know, there's been times we've played the number 1 team in the nation.
I know.
Been times we've played number 5 team in the nation. So, yeah, we kind of look at that totally different. But you know, at the end of the day, we just enjoy the challenge, and that's something we've built our program on, is accept the challenge. And years ago, I joked with Kevin Donnelly because St. Francis, Indiana was homecoming. They were ranked number 1 in the nation.
Yep.
And I told him that we just wanted to give him an experience he hasn't felt in a while, being somebody's homecoming game. So, you know, it is what it is. It's kind of how the days fall and how the schedule falls. So, we're excited. I mean, it doesn't matter who comes in here. We're going to be excited and be ready to go.
Yeah, so with that being said, you're going to be taking on number 13 ranked MidAmerica Nazarene University. Coach, I have to ask you, what have you seen on film? And really, what's gets you excited about maybe there's some things that you're going to be able to exploit or take advantage of?
Yeah, well, I mean, on film, they're not quite as good, what I see, as Benedictine.
Okay.
You know, I think Benedictine is really good. They haven't played them yet, so, you know, they'll get their opportunity to go prove me wrong in that sense.
Right.
But, you know, I think in some of their areas, especially offensive and defensive line, they're you know, maybe a little bit different there. You know, they've got a really good set of linebackers on defense, and their wide receiving core is really good. So, you know, that might be where they have the advantage over a Benedictine, is that they've got a little bit better linebackers, and their receiving core top to bottom might be better than Benedictine's, which, you know, Benedictine has some really good wide receivers. So, you know, we've got to do our job. You know, Jordan and the wide receivers on our side got to do a good job of blocking those backers and reading them and making sure that we put them in some tough situations. I do like our chances up front. You know, I think our defensive line can have some success, but their quarterback is a lot more mobile than what Benedictine is, and we saw that last year. So we've got to, as I tell the secondary all the time, we got to keep the ball in the ballpark. You know, we can't give up those big plays. We did that a few times last year against them. Of course, last year the weather was a major factor in that game. We played in 36 degrees and pouring down rain, but we'll have great weather this week. So it'll be a challenge. We've got to secure those wide receivers, and they've got a tough running back. So it'll be a chore, you know, but something that, you know, I think we can have a game plan and go out as long as we play physical and fast and are a little more disciplined than what we were a week ago. You know, it'll be a great night.
So are you noticing after this week of practice that you're sensing that the guys see the opportunity, that they have an amazing opportunity to take on a top-ranked team right here, right here at home.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things we talk about all the time is the fact that we have to defend our home turf.
Right.
And so, it doesn't matter who comes in. This is a great league. So you're going to have home games where you're going to play ranked teams. And
right.
we know we can go toe-to-toe with those guys. You go and look at where Cumberland is right now. They're, receiving votes are in the top 25. Mm-hmm. We went toe-to-toe with them, and this is another opportunity for us. And one of the things I talk to the team about is we've done some really good things, and that's not taken away from what they've already done.
Right.
But we need that signature win.
Yep.
We need that win that's really going to catapult us into the next level, and this is a great opportunity.
It is, and let's just face it, Coach. Your last few home games here have been nothing short of epic. The fan support has been bar none, second to none. It's been the best we've ever seen in program history, and especially being the ninth game, I know this place will be a rockin' with all the things that are planned. So, well, Spartan fans, we hope to have you here at 7 o'clock for kickoff against number 13 ranked MidAmerica Nazarene. For Coach B, I'm Guy Danhoff. We want to thank you for watching all right here on the Spartan Digital Network.